Okay, for example, uh, if you find out that your kids are lying to you, okay, okay, for example, then of course we're going to get mad like hell, right? But then I'm so sorry, no cursing. I'm so sorry, but that's how actually sometimes, yeah, sometimes things happen, Then I will ask her or them, him or her, why did why did you do that? Okay, is there anything that we as parents or as a family members don't like provide you with the thing that you want? Why you have to lie, that kind of things? Because I think lying is something that is not acceptable. But of course, we'll just reflect back lah. What actually we have done that make them lie? Probably we're so fierce at home, right? So they were so afraid, and at one point, oh, if I tell Ibu or if I tell Ayah this thing, probably I will get scolded. So I won't tell, that kind of thing. So sometimes we do like reflecting ourselves lah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Who like go? Welcome to the Community Hotline. I'm your host, Bob Fang, and today we have the amazing Dr. Ima in the house. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay, hi Bob. Thank you so much for having me today here in Community Hotline. Okay, I'm Dr. Ima, also known as Dr. Salehatul. I'm a veterinarian. I've been working as a vet since 2009, which I graduated from University Putra, Malaysia, Serdang.
Okay, I love that. Let's start off with a quick game. Tell us two truths and one lie.
Okay. Two truths and one lie. Okay. I love animals so much. One truth. One is that
Oh no, you
I'm.
don't tell us what the lie is. You have to let the
Oh,
audience guess later on.
okay. All right. All right. Two truths, one lie. Okay. Um. Oh yeah. Okay. Hold on. Um. I'm a mother with three kids. I hate house lizard.
Okay.
Uh. I am 30 years old.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna say because you're a veterinarian, you love all animals. So maybe the last one is the lie.
Is it the age?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the lie.
I love it. I love it. All right. Before we get into it, just a random question: do people bring in house lizards? Would you be able to look after a house lizard in your profession?
Usually it doesn't cover in our syllabus. Basically, house lizard is something that we don't see as pets. But other lizards, for example, other reptiles, yes, we do. Yeah, for
Okay.
example, iguanas or a water lizard, yes, we do.
Okay. All right. So tell me, let's get off started with a deep question. What are three defining moments in your life and how do they impact you?
Three defining moments. Okay, one is, of course, being a vet, a Malaysian vet, which is probably it's not that um, being accepted um, widely yet in Malaysia. Um, Two, having two clinics, veterinary clinics currently, and three, being able to educate, to create awareness to the public on my platforms, basically. So these things actually being very impactful to me because I received like a great good feedback from the followers, the viewers, even my bad friends that what I've been sharing through my social media actually is very helpful in educating the public regarding the animal health, the current situation that's happening, especially when it's related to animal abuse, and what to do and what to not to do when you have pets. Things like very general, but then some people still don't understand it. Yep.
Okay, I love that. Okay, so the first one was becoming a vet in Malaysia, opening up as a businesswoman 2 clinics, and
Yeah.
creating the awareness. I love that. I think from that, I think we can start off on our first topic of the day, which is going to be education.
Okay.
Tell us, doctor, who were you in high school?
Who who was I? Okay, I'm just ordinary student. I was a prefect at during my secondary school. Um, kind of active with outdoor activities. For example, like kawat kaki. I'm involving in cadet pertahanan awam. So and at the same time, I I'm just an ordinary student.
Okay, I
But
love.
with I mean with my own style, basically I just do what I want to do during that time.
Okay, do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have four siblings, all girls.
Okay, must have been tough on your father.
Yes.
Yeah. Are your sisters also in the medical field or?
No, I'm the only one in this veterinary medicine field. The others actually are doing like mass communication, medias, and food technologies.
Okay. Tell us, how does one become a veterinarian in Malaysia? Is there licensing, or what is the process of a high school student who wants to become a veterinarian?
Yeah, that's a great question. Basically, the students keep on asking this kind of questions because they thought that this field is very interesting to be in. Um, okay, in usually it will start in the secondary school where you have to take science stream courses, for example, biology, chemistry, physics. Yeah, that's the base one, and the other subject wajib lah. Okay, so you have to at least get a good score in the subjects, and then you can go further to. There are a few pathways you can go after SPM, which is you can go for diploma, um, animal science diploma, or you can go straight to STPM or matriculation, or you have we have another one is what we call it as science asasi. Usually in the specific university, they have that course like 1 or 1.5 years like that. And
Okay.
then okay, and then after that you can go further for the degree in uh, Doctor of Veterinary Medicine. Basically, in Malaysia, we have two universities that have this course. In University Putra Malaysia, Serdang, and another one is in University Malaysia Kelantan, in Kelantan.
Okay. Is it the same as the MBBS, where you have to take your foundations and then you go into your MBBS and then you have to go for housemanship? Is there a housemanship in veterinarian or?
Okay, in Malaysia, we don't have housemanship. Basically, after 5 years, you completed your degree, and then you can straight away practice.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And then what does when you start, so you're open to just opening up your own private practice after you start
Actually, I worked in a small veterinary clinic for 5 years, and then I had the courage to have my own lah. Basically, with the help of my family, yeah, they're of course they are the funder, and then the year after, because I had my first branch in 2014, in 2014. So the next branch is around 2015 to 2016. So yeah, that's how it goes.
Okay. How's the studying? Is it tough?
Of course, I think all subjects, all courses is not easy. It depends on what subjects you are in. But I would say that I enjoyed my student life in UPM last time, and of course the struggle is real, where you have to study like um, uh, various of varieties of species we have to cover, especially the anatomy, the physiology, pathophysiology subjects. Actually, it's quite a lot because of we're in this course for about 10 semesters. So can you imagine? Usually the first 2 years is theory. Third year we're going for the clinical year. Fourth year and fifth year is more to practicals, our final year projects and classes.
Wow. Do you have to study like pharmacology as well? How the
Yes,
medicine?
yes. That is one of the important subject. Yes, it's very difficult. I can say you have to like memorize the drugs, the the pharmacology, how actually it affects the the patients, what does it do, how actually it react to certain drugs, for example. So that kind of things you have to understand basically. But usually pharmacology is when we're studying in our DVM, is more to basic. Then during our work, basically we just get to know what are the drugs and what are the contraindications and indications of these drugs. Basically, we still need to refer to our Bible lah. I mean the book of the drug book basically. You cannot like remember like everything, right? Because there's new drugs coming in. Sometimes these drugs cannot be used anymore. Probably this is contraindicated in certain species. So you have to get to know that, or else, oh my god, I don't know what will happen.
I love it. So I would imagine it's harder than studying human medicine because you have to learn about mammals and reptiles, right?
Yeah, during our time, actually, we're focusing on domestic animals. For example, the farm animals, the which is the cows, the sheep, the goats, horses, um, the chicken, and then the other companion animals, for example, the dogs and cats. But nowadays, if I'm not mistaken, the new syllabus for the students nowadays they have this exotic um, exotic medicine, which is I mean things that we missed out lah last time. And then we have also aquatic courses, which we learn about fish. Yeah, it's very interesting actually.
Wow. That's a lot. That sounds like a lot of education, a lot of
Yeah,
learning.
yeah, it's a lot because I still think that 5 years is not enough for us. So that's why after we graduated, we have to get to learn new things. We have to go into courses, and then to have like our continuous what we call it as a CPD to improve ourselves in terms of new things, new medication, for example, or or new surgery method that we have to get to know. Yeah.
Okay. And what can you tell us? Is Malaysia like a friendly country towards pets and animals?
I would say it's not up to the level that I'm satisfied yet. Okay, in terms of the awareness, especially compassionate towards animals, because there are still group of people that think animal is just animal. They don't really appreciate the lives of these animals. So yeah, I think there's so much more to be done to increase that kind of awareness.
What would you
But
say
I
are
think it's improving. Mm-mm.
what would you say are the top two things that need to be improved, or the top two biggest animal issues in Malaysia?
Okay, one is management of the stray animals, especially the dog. As we see nowadays, I don't know whether you have come across any news regarding the policy of catch and kill policy in Malaysia to control the overpopulation of these stray dogs and cats. And another one is regarding animal abuse, which I think it's something that is saddening and serious to we need to overcome it, because it seems like, I would say, like almost every week, or sometimes there are like, you know, every day you can see news of animals being abused, that kind of thing. Yep.
Do you think the animal abuse mainly is affecting like dogs and cats, or is it all animals like goats, cows, chickens?
I would say all animal would probably have probably facing this kind of situation, um, because like I said just now, they don't have this, sympathy or empathy towards animal, because they thought that animals just animals. Yeah,
I
that's
see.
what I
Is
felt.
that
Now that's my point of view.
is that the education in Malaysia, like how people are taught, like from their parents, or is that
Yes, exactly. That's what I think. That's how actually we're being, I mean, develop, right, from the smallest organization, which is the house, home itself, the family. So I think family give a great impact, and should give a good education towards the kids, especially when it's related to how actually we should care for animals. Because I still see some parents um, just let their small kids mishandling the small pets. Okay, so I know kids are kids, but then we should I mean teach our children, our kids, on how to handle this animal with care, because from that teaching, or from that, I mean, how actually we deliver our education to our children, actually will show how actually they respond, or treating other what we call it as other creatures, including humans. Because if you started to not appreciate any small lives, then there are possibilities you will not like appreciate others too.
I see. How do you from your own experience, how do you teach your children on how to handle small animals?
Usually I will just uh, talk to them that this is how you have to handle animals. Okay, you should not like hold them like this or like that kind of things. So whenever I see them like probably a bit harsh to the animal, I just hold them lah. That's what mom do.
I see. What is the biggest thing that you see people mishandling animals? Is it just grabbing the animal by the neck, or
Yeah, grabbing by the tail. Sometimes they just sit on the animals, right? And then probably just um crushing the animal, like just macam baling saja like that, just release the animal like that from the certain height, which I which is dangerous. I mean, it can cause harm to these animals.
wow? So you see kids grabbing the animal by the tail, sitting on the
Yeah,
animal, and
yeah,
throwing the cats from the roof.
yeah, yeah. That's what happening lah.
You got it. And you see a lot of those animals come into your clinic from these uh
Yeah, we've seen like not so much cases on that, but basically it's more on, in the social media. Basically the mother just recorded the kids doing this and that. So sometimes it makes me mad. I just cannot watch that kind of videos, because I think that the parents should do something about it.
got it. How many pets do you have?
Currently at home I don't have any pets, because all my pets I put in the clinic, because most of the time I'm not at home. So actually I have like one cat I already put in the clinic lah, and one rescued bird, a pigeon, a green pigeon. Also after I treat her, then I just put in the clinic for observation, because she cannot fly anymore.
I see. I see. I actually, from living in Malaysia for a few years, I just have a question. I think most people are curious when they visit is the monkeys. I see so many
Mm-hmm.
monkeys in the park,
Yeah,
and sometimes they leave the park and they come and they steal your food from the
true.
grab. You know, what how does that work? You know, or is the government, they're just like, yeah, monkeys, just live here and do whatever, or
Okay, actually, regarding this monkey issues, there's multifactorial that causing this kind of situation, kan? If you see like there's monkeys stealing food from the kids or anyone nearby, it's because of one, their home is already destroyed, basically due to the development. So the what we call it, their homes actually destroyed, and two is because we are the humans actually um, make this thing happen because we keep on feeding these animals and they're not afraid of humans anymore. So they thought that, oh, humans food, human food, human food. So actually, these are the things that I really wanted to to educate, to advocate people, is that please do not feed this animal. Yeah, I know, understand, they need food, right? But if you're not feeding them, they would find food other ways. Yeah,
okay.
because sometimes this is how actually we attract them to attack us or cause nuisance and yeah, that kind of things.
I love it. I love it. Okay, let's move on to the next topic of the day, which is money. Tell us, as a business owner, or I guess the question that's on all the kids' mind: how much money does a veterinarian make, right? If they're going to go into this career.
In Malaysia, I would say it's not that much. Just um, you don't please don't expect that your salary will be as much as a medical doctor. I would say roughly as a fresh graduate, you can make about, I mean, starting in about 3,500 as a basic. Probably more. It depends on which area you are. Um, yeah, I think that's roughly lah. That's my that's how that the information that I get from my other friends. And it can be reached up to. It depends on how long have you been working, and if you're a clinic owner, probably you can get more. It depends. So it would start from 3,500 to 4,000 as a basic salary if you work with other clinics.
Are all veterinarians private, or does the government also have their own veterinarian on staff?
Okay. In Malaysia, we have a Department of Veterinary Services where some of the vets are working with the government. Basically, they're handling things like food production, farm animals, and things related to public health concern. So yes, we have veterinarians in the government sector, but the job scope is a way different from the private clinics veterinarian. And I just want you to know that the veterinary profession is not limited to veterinary clinics and government sectors alone, but they are also involved in like um, chicken farm, zoos, wildlife, and some in the food production, some in the pharmaco. It's like a pharmaceutical companies, uh, pet food. Yeah, actually, it's quite wide lah. And sometimes probably continuing with the research, being being working in the lab, for example. Yes.
Is this a growing industry? You think there's going to be a huge demand for it in the future?
I would say yes, because I think that the awareness of, I mean, the importance of animals in our lives, in our, uh, I mean, the coexisting of this animal in this world is actually is getting better. So and there's there's more people are actually having animals as pets as part of their family, and they're very concerned of it. So yeah, I would say it's a bit demand. The demand is increasing. But at one point, of course, if there's like very overcrowding of this, I mean, veterinary in certain area, sometimes it would not be a good, um, what we call it, a good environment for all of us lah. But still now, I think it's still demanding, and there are certain areas that still lack of veterinarians. For example, in Terengganu, in Kelantan, Perlis, for example. But in KL, in Johor, I think it's quite okay. But yes, of course, because people still keep coming in, and then keep on having pets, growing pets, so the demand is there.
I love that. Tell us what are the struggles of a business owner who opens their own clinic?
A lot, a lot. I would say, of course, in terms of the management of the team, how actually you're dealing with the clients, okay, and how you are going to sustain the business, um, and then how to make yourself is reliable and also, um, I mean, being accepted in the society. So this is something that it's an ongoing process, and then we have to actually be creative about it because there's newcomers coming in. They have like very creative environment, creative, um, what we call it as approaches, right? So yeah, you have to understand people love new things basically. So sometimes you have to go with the flow. You have to go with the what we call it as the you have to follow the trend, that kind of thing. So yeah, but you must to make it still in a professional mode. You know, it is not
Yes.
easy. I would say it's not easy. Yeah.
Would you, if you had to start over again, would you, do it again, go into the same career path and open the clinics again, or would you do something different?
Well, if you ask me this like 10 years ago, probably I would say yes. But now I think I'm more to like calming mode. So I don't want to have like hectic things in my mind in my in my journey. So basically, I just go with the flow. If let's say someone, if let's say I want to have like other businesses to like grow, I veterinary clinic is not one of my options. So probably I involve in other things lah. Yeah, because I said just now it's really hard. The struggle is not is not simple, because basically, I have kids, I have family to handle some more, and then at the same time I have to meet the 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 clients need. Okay, but because sometimes you cannot like fit in everyone's uh, fit in everyone lives. For example, like we don't really like, how to say, because certain people have
Give us an
different.
example. Give us a
Oh
experience
yeah,
of a client.
okay,
Your mo-
all right. For example, okay, some clients probably requested us to open for 24 hours to meet their requirements, right? But of course, with the lack of manpower, and then nowadays, these youngsters basically they need the work and life balance, so they don't really tend to work like a 24 hours environment. So, and of course, our job is already tense. I mean, because we're dealing with lives, death, with sometimes abusive clients. So it's very depressing if we cannot like manage our mental health properly.
I see. I see. I'm sure some people they value their pets more than their families, right?
Yes, yes, that's what happening actually, because some people is very, they're very into their pet. Because they're not um thinking that their pet is a pet, but they think that the pet is that is part of their family. So they treat them like kids, that their own kids. It's a good thing actually. Yeah, but of course lah, when there is um, increase in demand or requirements for certain clients, sometimes they are a bit um, there will be a bit, like very sensitive, that kind of things.
Can you give us an
Mm.
example? On
Okay, one example is that uh, they wanted us to do everything that is possible for their pet to live, but then they can't afford to pay the bills.
mm,
Okay, so that's the kind of things that we are facing like daily. And we really understand because we are also pet owners, and then we understand about the cost. The bills is not it's not cheap, because veterinary bills is expensive. The medications, the drugs, the instruments are very expensive. Even the time that we spend for us to do diagnosis, to treat these animals, it's not that easy because our patients cannot talk. So basically we have to find out whatever possible diseases, or whatever possible causes that's caused that disease, and we have to treat them to make them in a good condition.
I see. So let's say a dog comes in, so you have to do
Hmm.
X-rays. Can you do a PCR test on a dog?
Yeah, for certain diseases, yes, but basically not in our clinic lah. Usually we'll take the samples and send to the lab.
I see. I see. Okay. What's like the normal bill that you see in general? What can like a pet owner, like a dog or a cat owner come if their dog is sick? Or
Hmm.
what's the most frequent thing that people come in for?
The most frequent thing is sometimes in motor vehicle accidents, okay, or common diseases, for example, kidney diseases, which is quite common, some skin diseases, and others are more to um, preventive medicine, for example, vaccination, spaying or neutering their pets. So the the cost is varies, but I would say it may start from 50 ringgit to thousands. It depends on what kind of procedures that been done, what kind of diagnostic method that been done, and yeah, basically that that's how that's how the range of price can go lah.
Okay. If somebody were to give you a $5 million investment into your business, how would you spend the 5 million?
Okay, I would improve. I mean, probably I would improve the machines, the services in my clinic or my medical center, and then I would really love to have like a rehab center for these animals, uh, like post surgery rehabilitation, or like physiology center for these animals. And one thing is that I really wanted to have like an area where I can have like probably that abandoned animals that we can care of. So yeah,
I love
that's one
that.
of my big dreams lah. If I have that amount of money.
Okay. Let's move on to the last topic of the day, which is going to be love. Tell us, what is love?
What is love? Okay, I really don't know how to put it into words, but I try my best. Okay, love is something that is sweet and bitter at the same time. You know, it is something that you really, things that you care of, um, you care of something, and you it might affect you if it goes like wrongly, you know things that it's something that I don't know how to put into words, but I know the feeling, how the feelings of it.
Give us an experience, an example.
Oh my god. Okay, of course I love my kids, my husband, things that I love them. I can't live without them, but at the same time sometimes they're so annoying. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Even though they're annoying, you still love them and you still see them.
Yes, yes, it's still something that sometimes they're annoying, but then if you don't see them in front of your eyes, or sometimes if you know that they're not beside you or with you, and you feel lost. Yeah, you feel like very lonely, you feel like very lost, that kind of things.
I see. I see. Do you feel like because you love someone like your kids or your husband, they're the people that annoy you the most versus like a stranger or like, like a colleague, like it's the ones you love that annoy you the most?
Yeah. Yes, 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 yes.
I
True.
love I love that. Tell us how would you I see a lot of you know I see a lot of kids these days and they have many communication issues, whether
Mm-hmm.
with their parents. What's like, you have any tips or some advice on how kids can communicate better with their parents, or how parents can communicate better with their kids?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, this topic is, I mean, something that is very subjective, because I'm also a parent. I'm also still learning what's the best method, what are the best um, uh, options that I can like implement for my kids and myself, and as a, I mean, parents and also the kids. Um, but one thing is that, what I learned along the way, um, being a parent and having like small kids are still learning, sometimes you have to be really understanding, because yeah, sometimes we can be like very, I would say, fierce, because sometimes I would change myself into a lioness at home. But sometimes we need that strict, or some kind of, how we say it, as something that the kids need to understand that this thing is wrong, but at the same time you have to let them tell, or story, or let them relieve something, or
You have an
tell you
example?
something. Okay, for example, uh, if you find out that your kids are lying to you, okay, okay, for example, then of course we're going to get mad like hell, right? But then, I'm so sorry, no cursing, I'm so sorry, but that's how actually sometimes, yeah, sometimes things happen, then I will ask her, or them, him or her, why did why did you do that? Okay, is there anything that we as parents or as a family members don't like provide you with the thing that you want, why you have to lie, that kind of things? Because I think lying is something that is not acceptable. But of course we'll just reflect back lah, what actually we have done that make them lie. Probably we're so fierce at home, right? So they were so afraid, and at one point, oh, if I tell Ibu or if I tell Ayah this thing, probably I will get scolded, so I won't tell, that kind of thing. So sometimes we do like reflecting ourselves lah.
Wow,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Who lies more, your son or your daughter?
I mean, both of them have been lying to us. It's just a small thing lah, but basically we don't want them to start small and then, you know, and get big, right? So basically, we just let them know it's okay if you are doing wrong. Just let us know. Of course, you'll be scolded, but then it's better than if, let's say, you're doing like other things that very big or probably affecting their, things related to like stealing or anything related, and then you get caught, and then things will get severe. So I just let them know that if we cannot see you, but God can see you. Uh,
I love
that
that.
kind of
I love
things
that.
lah.
What about your relationship with your sisters? Do you argue with your siblings a lot too?
Nowadays no, because we're already like matured, kan? So we're matured. I have like four siblings, all girls. Usually we that these my siblings are my best friends lah, because basically I can say anything, I can tell anything to them, and they would be my biggest supporter. For example, if I do wrong things, also they will back up me lah. Cakap, macam sister, if you do wrong thing, I will back up you first, then I'll ask you what are you doing, that kind of thing. So actually, we back up each other, and then I really love my sisters because we're very close to each other, and our parents also like very pampering us as a siblings, like four siblings. So when we get married, because we're following our husbands later on, of course I can see that my parents like very lonely, but we're so fortunate because we're staying like very close to each other, just staying in Shah Alam. Everyone's also staying in Shah Alam. So every week we will go to our parents' house and lepak-lepak there lah. Until morning, from night until morning, yeah.
I love that. I love that. What? How would you describe the family dynamic in Malaysia?
What do you mean by the dynamic? Can you please explain a bit more?
Yeah, like sometimes in Western cultures, it's more like more independent. Like when the
Mm-hmm.
kids turn 18, it's like okay, go leave the house. Is it? Would you think it's different in Malaysia?
Yes, I would say it's very different. I still cannot accept that kind of dynamic I mean, for the Westerners, because I think Asian, they are more protective, I would say. I don't know about other families, but because I think because of the culture in our country itself, which we're very taking things seriously when it comes to, personal things like um, the safety of our kids. Basically, until they get married, sometimes they still thought that we are still kids, you know. Yeah, even until now, I've been married. I've been married for 13 years, but my father still treat me like a kid. I mean, yeah,
I
they
love
still like
that.
some yeah.
Any marriage advice? Top three marriage tips?
Marriage tips, not much, because basically, of course, just like parenting, it's something that is it's an ongoing process. It's something that is I'm still keep on learning how to actually adapting to marriage life. Because we're living with like, strangers, kind. Before this, he's a stranger, and then suddenly he enters my life, be part of me. So there's a lot of things that we have to learn to be together. For example, one important thing is that you have to be truthful to each other. No matter what, if you have like problems, please don't run away. Just take your time, um, discuss. Okay, discuss, and heart to heart talk is very important. Yeah, probably you'll be like very annoyed, like if it's now, sometimes you'll be annoyed, or sometimes you'll be very angry because of certain things, because you are two different people, you have like different ideas, you have like different point of views, basically. But keep in mind that no one wants something that is um, harmful for each other. So basically, sometimes the conversation or sometimes the communication is very important for us to maintain a good relationship. Yes.
I love that. Okay, and then just final thoughts. Any two life tips for the kids?
Two life tips: don't lie to your parents, or else you will get whacked. And another one, appreciate. Appreciate your parents, because they have, it's not easy to raise kids, to 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 have kids. It's not easy, but yeah, that's that's how it goes lah. So basically, you have to really appreciate your parents, um, in so many ways. Mm,
And did you ever lie to your parents?
yes, of course, kids always being kids. That's why. Do you know what? That's why I know whenever my kids lying to me, I know, this I've been doing this. You don't lie to me. Yes, kind of things. So usually cannot they cannot like they cannot lah, they cannot, because I already know the trick lah.
Okay. And why don't you tell everyone, where's your clinic located at? How can people find you if they want to reach out?
Yes, of course. Okay, I have two veterinary clinics. One in Kota Kemuning Shah Alam, which is Surview Veterinary Clinic, and another one in Bandar Sri Damansara named Trio Veterinary Clinic. And you can also follow me at my Instagram, also TikTok. Just type Dr. Ima Vet.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Before I forget, guys, if you guys are going through troubling times, depression, and you need someone to talk to in Malaysia, you can feel free to WhatsApp 018-9888-058, and someone will respond and talk to you if you ever need any help 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Other than that, we'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us, Doctor.
Thank you so much, Bob.
Thank you.